going to be expedient. If you recall, last year we were able to work with Commonwealth Attorney's Office, and they had requested bonuses last year for staff, and that was afforded out of the budget that they had with their vacancy savings. And so the request is, again, to do the same thing as before, and it is in their budget with no new funds being requested. So if you want to add anything to that.
Thank you. I think that means more than anything I'll say. And I have no literature for you. Good evening. And as she said, when I last spoke to you all, we were at that point operating with one man down. My chief deputy's position had been vacant for a little over a year at that time. And after that, we lost another attorney who took a job at a Commonwealth Attorney's Office in Northern Virginia. So for a time, we were operating a 5-attorney office with just 3 attorneys. I am happy to tell you all today that we are now fully staffed. We hired a new attorney from Newport News with over 20 years of experience, and I somehow managed to convince my former chief deputy, Sean Mabry, to leave New York and come back to Alleghany. Sean, stand up. I'm not going to give you Sean's life history, but he is an intelligent, bright, capable attorney, and he's going to be an asset to Alleghany County. We're thrilled to have him back. He served the citizens of Alleghany and City of Covington from 2019 to 2022 before he took his 2-year or so hiatus up to New York, and he's now back. So, and I didn't even have to change my letterhead, and that's a bonus. So I'm here today to request the bonuses, as she just told you, for the attorneys and staff who took on an extra workload, who absorbed the workload of those vacant positions, and kept our office running and served the citizens of the county. It involved nights and weekends and a whole lot of work. So we had 3 attorneys doing the job of 5. As she said, there's no additional funds required. The money's already been allocated. And the request outlined in my letter, there's money to cover them. And when funds are available, I've come to realize that bonuses recognize an employee's contribution and their dedication. They also serve as an incentive to keep good people working in Alleghany County, and that's not so easy to do. One of the things I've figured out over the last few years is it's hard to recruit and retain employees, particularly to recruit and retain attorneys to stay here in a rural jurisdiction, and when we get them, we want to keep them. And so these folks in my office, staff and attorneys, worked extra hard to cover the void and to make up for the vacancies. The money's there, and we would ask that you grant the bonuses, and I would be very appreciative. Thank you.
And you want us to take action on this tonight?
Yes.
Okay. So it's all housekeeping. There's money in there to do it. I would just need a motion to approve.
I move we approve the bonuses she's asking.
Do we need to waive policy?
No, it's new. We have a motion by Dr. Going, second by Ms. Cox. Melissa?
Mrs. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Dodd?
Yes.
Dr. Goins?
Yes.
Mr. Nicely?
Yes.
Mr. Griffith?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes. Thank you all. Thank you for what you do. Item 9C, discuss and consider award of contract for operation of the Lower Jackson and Lowmore wastewater treatment plants to Environmental System Services LTD. This was the only contract submission that we had. If you look over it, they were the only ones that bid the work. It's in our packet, but they are a needed vendor for that. Ricky's not here tonight to go over it, but it is for the operation of the Lower Jackson and Lowmore wastewater treatment. So moved. Mr. Nicely. I have a motion by Mr. Nicely.
Second.
Second by Mr. Griffith. Melissa?
Mrs. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Dodd?
Yes.
Dr. Goins?
Yes.
Mr. Nicely?
Yes.
Mr. Griffith?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes. Item 9D, discuss and consider supplemental appropriation in fiscal year 24 for Parks and Recreation. Suzanne's gonna give us the short story.
Very short story. Once again, they had some success in Parks and Rec's department with selling some items on Gov Deals that were surplus. And this is just simple appropriation of the revenue that was received for that and the expense so they can reuse those funds.
So I need a motion to approve the supplemental appropriation.
So be.
Have a motion by Mr. Griffin,
Second.
second by Dr. Goings. Melissa?
Mrs. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Dodd?
Yes.
Dr. Goins?
Yes.
Mr. Nicely?
Yes.
Mr. Griffith?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes. And that will take us to the county administrator's report.
Hope everybody's well this evening. Give you a few overview updates of ongoing projects that we have in Alleghany County and some of the stuff staff's working on. Update on the Commerce pad site. We're actually on an early side, getting close to substantial completion. If you haven't been out to the site, it's worth checking the site out. We have a group coming out next Wednesday to look at the site. Virginia Economic Development Partnership involved with that. And the EDC is working on an event potentially where we're going to bring in some other selectors this fall. Wells Fargo building, we have established a contract with AECom. What we're doing is trying to break down the renovation of that building in phases. Phase 1 being demolition. And we've also asked AECom to do a 30% rendering of the interior of the building. While we do that, we're going to get into that building and see what's in there, and then start phase 2. Student housing study, I've got notification from Paston Associates that they actually have received all the information they need to put that report together, and I expect to have that report probably by next meeting for us. Jackson River Trail Phase 5, an updated wall design was submitted to DEQ and is currently in the review process. The first annual River and Trail Day, I mentioned that last month. It was held June 15th, and especially for an event that's a first, it was very successful. There were over 300 people who attended the event. It looked like from the activities occurring that the on-site river tubing was the favorite among those in attendance. And that's my brief manager's report for this month. Of course, there's a lot more going on than just this.
Thank you, sir. Board member comments. Mr. Dodd?
Thank everybody for coming out tonight. Sheriff Moore, thank you for your report. And tomorrow evening, Eclectic Forge starts at 6 o'clock, goes till dark, and then the fireworks start. There'll be music and food at the C&O Heritage Center. And as far as I know, I talked to the mayor, the fireworks are still on for tomorrow evening.
Is that it?
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Nicely?
Mr. Bockins, I appreciate your comments. I'm not a great supporter of the trail, but it's a good trail, I have to say that. As far as Commonwealth's attorney goes, money was a wash, that's a good thing. Sheriff, appreciate your comments. Get out and support the 4th of July, the bar, and the 4th. There's a lot going on in Covington, Alleghany County, all around the area. So I'd encourage all of you to get out and support. Stay hydrated because it's hot. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Cox?
Ditto all of them before me. Ms. Gardner, you're right. You said that it's hard to sometimes recruit and keep people in this area, and we see that a lot, especially in the office I work in, trying to place people in jobs. And it's a revolving door a lot of times, even though they sometimes have really good jobs. They still want to either move out of the area or something else. So it's wonderful to hear that you're fully staffed now, and welcome back to the area from New York. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure that you, as Ms. Gardner said, you have a lot to offer this area. Mr. Bockins, thank you for speaking, You always have a lot of information, and I can tell you definitely do research, know what you're talking about, but so thank you for that. And Sheriff Moore, again, as always, thank you for all the reports that you give us. A lot of information, but it's very good and valid information for us to have. So thank you for taking the time to get those reports to us.
You're welcome.
School superintendent, thank you for being here with it. I know that time, it seems like school just ended, but it'll be back before you know it, won't it, starting. So everyone have a wonderful 4th of July and be safe and careful.
Thank you. Dr. Goins?
In addition to the festivities on the 3rd, there will be a parade in downtown Clifton on the 4th. And then they have a show inside the theater where they recognize all the veterans. Mr. Watkins, I was not on the board when they first started doing the Jackson River Trail. I have, seems like almost every other month we talk about this trail. I understand all your concerns about it, and I think that there are a lot of problems that have come up. We're still in the process of trying to work on it. I hope that we'll get it done to your satisfaction and the community satisfaction and the trout that live in the stream satisfaction, and I hope that that all happens. And I hope it happens without too much more drama. I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Griffith?
Well, first of all, thank everybody for being out tonight, and be careful for the 4th. Enjoy the events are in the community, and if you're traveling, be real careful on the road. So it's going to be really crowded. Thank the sheriff for his report and everything. Very much thorough report. Thank you very much. See, we got the school superintendent. Thank you for being here. And Mr. Tom Bakken, thank you for being here. Thank you for being eyes on the ground. And we will keep a better eye on this, I assure you. Thank you. That's all I got.
Thank you. Well, at this point, it's pretty much all been said. I did want to recognize Tammy Wilson's here with Department of Social Services. Everybody else has been announced or welcome, so I wanted to do that. Again, we are at the height of vacation season. We've got July 4th coming up. It's extremely dry out there. Please be careful with fireworks. Keep an eye out for the kids. I don't have a whole lot more to say. Thank everybody for coming out tonight. I do need a motion to go into a closed meeting pursuant to Section 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended to discuss a personnel matter. Have a motion by Mr. Nicely.
Second.
Second by Mr. Griffith. All in favor? Aye. We're going to use this room. Thank you, everybody, for coming this evening.